GM, give me just a second. I'm going to send out some invites. You guys should definitely come up here. If not, I will gladly talk for a little bit by myself. I've got no issue with that. Rooster, I'm impressed you're up this early, man.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I mean, shit, I'm typically up this early. Driving girlfriend to work right now.
Oh, nice, man. Very nice. Tell her hey for me.
Cleo says, "What's up?" She says, "Hey, wonky stonks are inevitable."
Hey, that's a fact. That is a fact.
Dude, it's fucking 32 degrees here right now. It's a little bit chilly.
That's kind of nice, though, right? Like,
yeah, except I
start of
got a
winter.
concert on Halloween, which it's getting down to 11.
Oh, wait, like concert at Red Rock?
Yeah, it's concert at Red Rock.
Okay, that is a little bit rough then.
Yeah, looks like I'm going as Ralphie's little brother for Halloween at
Nice.
at the show because it's gonna be cold as shit.
Oh, dude, that is tough. You just have to, you got to put on a liquid blanket as well and just enjoy the night.
Yeah, it's liquid blanket. You mean like 40% alcoholic beverages?
Something like that. Something like that. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually the only reason I'm hosting this early is I am hitting the road here in about an hour and actually having a weekend. We're gonna go hang out like with Hondo and a few of the boys. Got a guys' weekend, so been a while since I've been able to make it up there and visit him. So yeah, man. Like, but I wanted to go ahead and not, have make sure to keep the streak alive because if I didn't do it now, then I don't know when I'd make it happen. It'd have to be like Sunday, man. No, even Sunday I wouldn't be able to. I'm going to be on the road for like, through Monday or Tuesday. So,
Nice, nice. What y'all gonna get into?
oh, dude, not much. I mean, honestly, like you get a little bit older, things get a little bit more chill. I think just grilling out, like grilling out, hanging out. I mean, I don't think there's really too much planned. Just, like catching up with a few different friends that are, living across the state, all coming over there to visit, hang out, and, we'll see where it goes. I think the weekend, and I mean, I think the weather might be a little bit on and off as far as whether or not it'll be cruddy. So, but just going out, hanging out with good friends, like I feel like it's one of those things you don't have to have something planned to be, to be a good time. You can just, go be there and, usually, usually all the rest takes care of itself.
How'd your trading go this week?
Dude, I didn't really trade much. I mean, heck, like that's one of the things that I brought up is that I really just haven't been trading too much the past month, and it's been a really, really nice break. I mean, on the flip side, a lot of that time is spent with SoFi, which has been an absolute roller coaster. I mean, like, so tons of ups and downs there. But as far as just not having to manage a leverage position 24/7 and you know, be so focused about rotating into the next thing and out of the, it's just been really refreshing. And, it's been one of those things where I've just been trying to practice what I preach, where trying to stack a bit of spot. But, um, as much as I think that the market can go up higher from here, I'm still bullish. I just I've got some PTSD from the 6 month period before the happening last cycle, and I get it, right? Different market conditions. Like we had a black swan event with COVID, but I just don't think it's time to put the foot on the gas as far as trying to swing in, swing out. Like capitalized on those type of, that type of trading quite yet. For me, it's just about capital preservation, slowly stacking, looking for buys that, will increase the dry powder that I have available a year from now, not a month from now, not a week from now. It's like having that 1 year mindset right now.
Well, also, just like you, also practicing what I preach. I was dabbling with it this week with extremely high leverage and trying to be in and out of my trades within 30 minutes to an hour, just trying to condition myself for the stress and anxiety of, what comes with the crypto market. Made a couple good trades this week, so happy with that.
Were you in on Pepe? Was that one of them?
At one point, I did try to short Pepe, but I closed that position real quickly, let me tell you. But no meme coins. I was pretty much just doing Solana between like 25 and 50x leverage.
Nice, man. Yeah, Sol had a lot of nice volatility. I mean, volatility is really what you want if you're trading. So, like, the conditions are right now infinitely better than they were a month or two ago. So I mean, hey, more power to anybody trading this right now. Like, I'm not going to say it's terrible conditions too. I just think it's one of those things that, blindly longing here, like blindly longing with max leverage, expecting up only for the next. Like, I just still don't think that we're there quite yet. I mean, I believe 40K is a magnet. Again, I'm still bullish, but I look back to where I was a year ago, like, and I shared this in the post that I did last night when I was like, I guess, cracked out on some caffeine at 2 a.m. Um, and it was about the story of February of 2020. That was really what set me up for that really rough year where I was just overconfident heading into the happening. I was like, man, this is it, right? We're bouncing back from this base. We had this nice breakout and, everything was trending up. And then COVID hit and I was overexposed. And dude, I wrecked myself on that move down. And the irony of it all of those buys that I made in February, that I made in January, that I made previously to that I was long with and ended up getting wrecked from, would have been incredible buys a year later, right? Like, had I been able to hold on to the position. But because I was levered into it, they were terrible buys. And that's kind of what I look at right now. I'm like, dude, right now, I think everything you buy is going to be an incredible buy a year from now. And I've got like super, super high level of confidence in that. But on the flip side, I just don't have as high of a level of confidence that it's going to be like that, a month or two from now. I want it to be. And, from what I'm looking at, it will, but I've been humbled by the market plenty of times before. So I would rather right now just wait to go full on risk in 2024 when I'm more confident of, like, of where the market's going to be. So for right now, I'm kind of just taking a little bit more of a break through the end of the year. Maybe I'll do a couple positions here and there. But just a bit more of a backseat compared to what I normally would do. I want to be really refreshed coming into 2024, man.
Yeah, I feel that. And I wasn't so much just like blindly longing as doing a little bit of TA with the overall market sentiment. Honestly, my my best trade of the week was just setting a limit long on Solana, and overnight, and it like kissed it to the penny. And I woke up at like 150% and immediately closed it, even though it would have been, if I let it run for a few more hours when I woke up, it probably would have been like 200%. That was my best one. Was actually being asleep during the entire trade. But there have been many times this week because the way I like to trade is I like to long bottom of the ranges and short top of the ranges, and get a quick scalp or be proven wrong within 30 minutes to an hour, or at least that's how I've been trading in the bear market. There have been many times where I would set my limits and I'd be scammed by like half of a penny on my entry, and it would have went like a 100+%. So need to tweak that a little bit, give myself a little bit more room for entry. And one thing that I am kind of kicking myself for is not believing in any memes during the bear. Right, you have like a lot. Most of your major meme coins, the ones that like people know, have done a good this past week, like 5 to 15x. And there have been some that I've been watching for over a month now. Like I can't tell you how many times I pulled up the Smurf cat chart throughout this past month. Been like, should I buy this? Nah, it looks like a dead. It looks fucking dead right now. Like I'm not gonna buy it. I didn't believe in any of the memes, and Smurf cat would have been like a 15x if I had bought sometime within the past month. But that is one thing I fumbled, was not believing in any of the memes the past month or two, really.
Yeah, man, memes are powerful. Yeah, like the memes have been powerful, and okay, as far as trading, one thing that is a little bit more interesting to me, as far as you know, looking into something a little bit more degen, would be getting a little bit more plugged back into the meme scene because memes are just kind of fun, man. Like it's fun doing the on-chain stuff. I think the difference is it's like when you're talking about on-chain and meme trading and you have an account my size, like I legit can't talk about any of that stuff, which is what robs a little bit of the joy from it, because it's fun to be able to talk through some of those as it's happening. I mean, you can do it in DMs and stuff like that, but as far as any type of public posts, it's just, you don't know if these things are going to be rugs or not. So, if you put, it's just not worth it, right? Like, it's really not, because you don't want to accidentally mention something and then people think, oh man, this is going to be the next 100x, or you're like, honestly, bro, I'm right there with you. This shit could rug on me. I could end up at zero or not. Like, but at the same time, that's kind of what makes it a little bit fun, right? Is like, is this going to 20x or is this going to end up
Yeah,
at
it's walking
zero?
on the edge of the
So,
cliff.
yeah. Like those are a little bit fun because that's the type of thing where you can put in, there's such low liquidity, at least, unless you catch a runner, that you really can't play with too much dry powder that you're going to hurt yourself too badly in the first place. It's not like playing with some of these higher market cap coins on a centralized exchange that have like pretty good liquidity that you can run yourself down fast. With these, you can deposit a couple of ETH and have a blast. Maddie, my man, I just want to rotate the conversation real quick and say a late happy birthday to you. How was that cruise? Good to have you back up here.
I appreciate that, brother. Much love, Wonky fam. Hope everybody's doing good. Man, I appreciate the birthday shout out. I feel like I'm still on the cruise. I've been in this crazy funk all week. Like, all I want to do is be back in the Caribbean on that beach, just chilling, dude. And mentally, I'm still there, but, the vibes are good here, and I'm glad to share the space today with you guys, and much love, man. How you doing?
Oh, doing well, man. I mean, doing well. Can't complain. Um, yeah, we missed you last week, but glad that you were able to have that break. And I guess it's shoot, yeah, it's been a week. My timeline is getting all all kinds of mixed up right now, man.
Yeah,
Um,
special happy birthday to the Wonky fam too, man. It was bittersweet not being here last week, but I'm always here in heart with you guys, and I love the vibes always, brother. It was
Yeah.
It's been an incredible 2 years with this family, man. It's been something kind of unbelievable in a sense. So, and we're here stronger than ever right now. And I know everybody's quote unquote calling this a little bull market right now, but I still think it's a bear, and we're vibing harder than ever in the bear too. So, I just love this family. I love the connections. Love the vibes, man.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm right there with you, dude. It's been one of those things where I think that overall, like considering what NFTs have done the past couple years, the stonks are in as good of a position as they possibly could be right now. Both, you know, from community standpoint, from and it's reflected in the price too, right? Like overall, considering what the majority of a lot of these projects have done and where we've been able to hold up, but regardless of where price has been throughout the course of the past several months, like the vibes have been the same, right? That's the most important thing. And that's what makes me so bullish heading into this, the next bull market, because eventually NFTs are going to have their time in this, like it's going to happen. And I just think that we're really well primed as far as having that spotlight whenever the time hits, man. It just makes sense, right? Like, when you're talking about a flight to safety and a flight to quality, I I mean, I think that we've proven we've earned our stripes there.
I think it's also quite funny too. Like, in our chats and all that, you'll come in and you'll say like, people don't even know that I'm the creator of Wonky Stonks. People are still finding out about it, and I think what it is people have been searching for consistency. They've been searching for something that's in essence pure, right? And that's what I think our stable is here, and that's where people start getting a little bit more drawn into it. And then on top of that, the connections that are inevitably made here as well too, and that consistency is I think the ultimate key in this game of NFTs. I mean, you've seen it, and here we are, we're still thriving, vibing. Gotta love it, man.
It's not
Yeah.
just the game of NFTs though, it's the game of everything in this
Oh
space.
yeah, facts for sure.
Speaking about consistency, I mean, people just love that word. You can consistently not deliver and still catch a bid, like Moonbirds this past week.
Dead cat bounce, bro. Dead cat bounce. Yeah, like I'm looking forward to the day that we flip Moonbirds. I'll definitely screenshot that one.
It's inevitable. I mean, it's inevitable on flipping a lot of shit in this space. One thing that keeps me here and keeps me coming back is this family, this Room 110 family, just the connections here. And to see us still,
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Root's favorite word, the consistency. We have consistency with intention, though. That's the difference. That's the key factor right there, is that intention with it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it's one of those things where you look at right now, for instance. I mean, I hate talking too much about price and mechanics and this, that, and the other, but let's just be real with it. When you look at just the gap, like we look at there are people that are like, oh man, that wall that somebody put up at 0.19 ETH, dude, it's like it's only 16 ETH to get through that, right? Like whenever the real NFT bull market hits, bro, it's like 16 ETH, that's one buy. Right? Like that's nothing, that's like that's three pudgy penguins. So as far as the real catalyst for this is concerned, the funny thing about this space in general is, as price does go up, so does the appreciation for the art, so does the appreciation for a lot of the other things behind the story. And like what we see now, unfortunately, a lot of people don't see until things start to trend up, but they are. And like that's one of the reasons, this past week that I finally just decided, all right, like it's been a minute since I've added to the stomp collection. I just gave away a bunch, so I need to refill a little bit. So that's why I ended up refilling a little bit, which eventually will be given away again. But like I believe in it, and like it's one of those things where I'm not, if you're in the audience and you're expecting some type of massive pump like in the next couple of weeks, like, bro, this isn't the place for you. Right? Like there's nothing that I'm going to do with the stonks that is going to, I'm not going to ever drop some announcement and say, hey, we've got this, that, or the other that's coming up and we're going to right? We stick to what we've stuck to, where there's no roadmap, no utility. It's just the art, just the vibes, just the community. And I really do believe that that's enough. And like by building something with that as the foundation, it, by the time that it does succeed, it's unstoppable.
Well, that foundation has also, I think, helped a lot of people with personal growth as well, too. I remember when a lot of people got into this project, the free mint day, it was a lot of people's first NFTs, and they were, capitalizing on this in a bull run, a massive bull run. And everybody expects, up only this, that, and the other. And I think not only this, but the time that we've spent here growing with one another, it's matured us in our decision making as well. And I think that's a very strong piece of the foundation with this community, with what we have established here. We all mature together, we all grow together, so we can make better financial decisions for one another.
Bro, I was so fucking cringe over 2 years ago in the crypto space.
Facts.
Everything that I was doing was so fucking stupid.
I was right there with you in the beginning.
Dude, so many stupid things over the years. I mean, but that's part of it. Like, right? You live and you learn. I mean, but that's one of the things. Again, I have no idea what type of caffeine I was cracked out on last night typing up some of this stuff. But like,
Must have been Colombian.
It might have been, bro. But I was up, I was lit, and I typed up some lessons from the past thing. And one of the things, though, that I think is really true is that I've learned over the course of the past several years, you can't cheat the process, right? If you want to do anything sustainable, you have to do it the right way, and you have to put in the work, and you have to put in the time. And where I'm getting at from that is, it's like, dude, all of these massive runs that I've ever had where, they're high leverage runs, super high risk, and I've retraced them, it was because I was trying to cheat the process, right? Like it worked for a while. I put in some type of work, but, in essence, by continuing to be greedy with that, it wasn't something that was sustainable. So the biggest lesson from all of that, and I mean, it translates back to like building a project and building a community with something like this too. I think there's so many projects that are out there in the NFT space that feel like they have to cheat the process. And they do that by announcing these flashy incentives and the flashy utility and trying to gamify the aspects of it. And guess what? For the pumponomics in the short term, hey, you might be able to ride the wave of whatever Ponzi it's in. But that's why it all goes back to the original vision of everything with the stonks being about the art and purely about the art. Because once you have people that collect for the art and that appreciate it for something that's deeper, again, it goes back to it. Art and history are transcendent. Utility fades. So
Somebody
I don't know,
quote
man.
that.
That's still my take. Like any of these utility things, it's like, oh well, hey, dude, look at the whole Benji situation. I don't know much about his project. I don't know much about that whole thing. But he's like, man, this just isn't a sustainable business. Well, dude, guess what? If you ask me, like, why have I kept the lights on with the stonks? Because the honest truth is, like, as much as I plan on doing some other stuff with LedgArt down the road, I don't treat this fully as a business right now, right? Like, I treat it as a community. I treat it as a project that I believe in, same as you guys do. and I treat it as something that like I'm very passionate about. But for me, it's not about the cash flow coming in, right? Like that's not necessarily the thing that, because if it were about that, then yeah, it'd be about like what are the other utilities that I'd be building around it. But again, like, you look at what made punks have this incredible run back in the day where they caught a bid and they started off. Was it because there was a team behind it with Larva Labs that had this cash flow product and all these other crazy things that drove it? No, right? Like it was people that had been around hanging out for years, just appreciated the art, appreciated the history behind it, that ended up turning it into a movement.
I think one more thing to add a caveat on all this too is leading by example with accountability. And I think that's something that we as a family have developed together, is holding each other accountable, holding our decisions accountable, holding our intentions accountable. And that's something that is hugely missing in this space and in life in general, is accountability. So hat tip to this family for that, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Pick God, what's up, man?
Bro, I was just gonna touch on like some of the art aspect of NFTs real quick. Like I don't know if you've been following Refik at all with like the wins of Ioana, but this last week is the last couple days of his unsupervised collection at the MoMA, and he's actually going to be there on Sunday, I guess, kind of talking about it and closing it out. So I think I'm actually going to head up there to New York City like Sunday morning and go check out the exhibit. Hopefully get a chance to talk to him. I think that's pretty cool, positive in the NFT space in terms of art.
That's awesome, man. Dude, I won't lie though. I heard that you're going to an exhibit, but I had somebody call me twice during the course of that I kept pressing hang up on, so I missed like the big first half chunk of it. So I
Nah,
just know you're going on
I
the
was
road trip.
saying, I don't know if you've been following like Refik at all, the guy who like made wins of Ioana, but he has a collection at the MoMA in New York City called Unsupervised. It's like a huge exhibit, and they're closing it this weekend. So he's actually going to be there on Sunday. So I'm going to head up and like hopefully get a chance to talk to him, meet him, whatever, listen to the panel. I don't necessarily know how it's going to go, but I'm like, all right, fuck it. I kind of want to see it in person and should be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, like I like how some of these artists have, the combination of both, though. I do think that there is some irony somebody brought up recently where I was reading something by NFT Stats, whatever that punk person is, and they put up something where it was this whole, it almost was this like enlightenment type of post about how NFTs have made this jump. The new trend in NFTs was physical, right? And like, I just thought that was so ironic because it's like, okay, the new trend in digital art is physical art. Like, what do you mean? New trend in digital art is physical art. I like, I get it. You can display it as physical art, but it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm like the irony's lost on me a little bit. I do think it's cool how you can display it in galleries and how you can have these type of events to be able to connect with different people that are interested in the space. But that whole post that I read, there was just something about it that I was just laughing my ass off with.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It was like the trend of physical uh, in the form of NFTs, right? But yeah, no, I know what you mean because I feel like the same way. But I think in a sense of like, I don't know if you listen to like the Thread Guy Beeple podcast or interview from that Punks meetup that Beeple
I
hosted.
need to. No, I haven't yet.
I mean, I thought it was like I didn't really know too much about Beeple. I think like heading into that, like I kind of knew some stuff about the everydays and that he's been working on art for a long time. But like one of the questions, Thread Guy asks him towards the end of that interview is like, how does the traditional art world like view you, right? Like as someone who's been pushing this digital art narrative, right? And he said with still like a lot of skepticism, but like I think when you have a piece like that unsupervised by Refik, like as a main exhibit in the MoMA. I'm pretty sure it's in like the lobby there essentially. Like I think that kind of helps push the narrative like okay, like digital art is a real form of art, you know, whether you're going to accept it now like this older generation is still up for interpretation, but like people commented, you know, the kids who are growing up now and this younger generation of people, like when they look at digital art, like they accept it because it's all they've known, right? So I think it's just like kind of bridging those different generations, which I think is a little interesting.
Yeah, no, that is cool, man. I mean, I am excited about Art Basel. Like, I'm still pretty positive that I'll be able to make it up there for that. So, Art Basel, I think, is the real merge of the two spaces. Whenever you're talking about that, so it really shows you it's all about the art. Um, yeah, but
We're doing Pandemonium this year, big guy.
Pandemonium, dude, that's in December, right? Like a week before Christmas or 2 weeks before
It's like a
Christmas?
week
A
after
week after
Basel.
Basel.
Yeah.
A week, dude, there's zero way. I mean, I love bags and I like, but here's my
He
deal.
won't go to Vegas, Rooster. You know that.
Yeah, like I'm not going, and I think I realize this too. I'm just not like, especially if there are going to be some of those type of events where you're going to a club or going to whatever party for a few. I am not the type of guy that it's like I want to do that every weekend. So, I'll go to Basel. I will get my social fill in there, and I'll go to whatever events I have to, rub shoulders. But I'm a boomer at this point, man. I'm not trying to go out to the next. Like, I love those guys, but dude, they go a little bit too hard for me. I can't keep up.
Oh no, talking about caffeine at 2 a.m. Sounds like you can't keep up.
I mean, hey, I can keep up. I can keep up. But do I want to keep up these days? That's the question. Right now, I'm like, it's not preferable.
I'll
Yeah,
see you
no,
at
I feel
Basel.
that. I'm
Rooster, you're not going to go to Basel, bro?
probably skipping Basel. Nah, dude. Like, I have a wedding to go to in like 2 weeks, which I just found out I'm a groomsman for, so I had to go get tux fitted yesterday too. Like, and then Pandemonium. Then I mean, unless I hit some nice longs or shorts, whatever position that's making me money. Um, Basel's a no at this point in time for
Well,
me.
Rooster, I feel you on that. The only reason why I'm like, okay, I'm going to make Basel happen is I have a good buddy that moved to Miami that actually has. Sorry, I got cut off by a call. Again, they keep calling back. But I've got a good buddy that moved to Miami that like had a couple extra bedrooms, and he doesn't know I'm going to stay with him yet. I still need to tell him I'm going to stay with him, but that's, that's my game plan. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to crash with that dude. Like, he's got a nice place. And here's the deal, though. Like, the back story of this. So, like, back during COVID, this guy, he and I both were going through a really rough time where I was, you guys have heard my COVID like 2020 story before. So I was dating, my ex at the time. I was with her, and her sister's ex was also going through a really tough time, like rehab, all this other stuff. And in the process was living at their apartment. So both of us for like 6 months, man, were just down, like trying to work our way out of a really tough situation. We were together like every day through that time, really bonded, but they took him in because he had like nowhere else to go. Well, in the process of that, his company, he had like a medical, a lab basically, absolutely blew up because of COVID, right? They were doing COVID testing. So they blew up. He made a shit ton off that. And then also ended up starting like, a CBD Delta 8, whatever company that blew up, like a med spa company that blew up, and like a few other things. And, absolutely just crushed it with all these ventures. But we had the 6 months in hell where, like, there were basically four of us living in this tiny ass apartment, all in the same spot. So, like, that dude's like my brother at this point. Even though neither of us date those girls anymore, like, still share that.
That's hilarious. B-Ways has no idea I'm crashing on his couch either.
Hey, I was about to say the same thing. I remember last year at Basel, when we were leaving, B-Way was just like, come back anytime. I was like, you're going to regret that. I was like, I'll just book a flight one day, not even tell you, knock on your door.
But yeah, that's it. I'm like, all right, this is the bear market hustle. So my trade-off is going to be like, all right, bro, I'll get you into a few events. You just give me a place to crash. We'll call it an even trade. So we'll see. But that's the current game plan. If that falls through, I probably won't be going. But if it does go through, which I think it will, I need to just hit him up like today while I'm thinking about it. But that's the game plan. It's not like previous years where it's like, oh, I'm going to book a thing at the, whatever for a week. Like, nah, man, it's the bear market hustle. But y'all, I'm sorry. I just looked at the time. I really do, unfortunately, have to cut it short with today's space. Wanted to make sure, though, that we got one in. Stonks are inevitable. But I've got to finish packing and hit the road here in just a bit. So, love you guys. And I will see y'all here the next week. And Frederick, I'm sorry, I never even got to give you a chance to speak, man. I feel
it's all good. I joined late.
Much love, everyone.
I'll catch y'all next time.
All right, y'all, take it easy. Enjoy your weekends.
Cheers,
Later.
everyone. Much love.